sit
Okay. This is more or less the way to start. This is less the way to start. Seoul, South Korea. The faculty rooms were empty. Outside the windows, the lights of a city of 10 million made little impression on the blackness of the winter night. In each room, a coat rack stood, burdened with overcoats, wool scarves and hats, mittens and gloves stuffed into pockets or fallen to the floor. The metal desks that lined the walls awaited their tenants. A wind-up novelty clock pecked at kernels of time. At 9:56 p.m., Marion Norcross came into the smoker's room. A load of books and folders dropped up to her desk with a thud. She fell into her chair, flung a leg over the arm, and picked a half-smoked Vantage 100 from the ashtray and lit it, puffing vigorously. Her elbow propped on the other chair arm, she took a long, slow drag as she turned her head to observe Nelson entering the room. She blew out a gust of smoke in his direction. Watching him slide a cigarette pack out of his shirt pocket. In his hand he held 3 crayons, red, yellow, green. Excuse me. You can maybe go back to the beginning.
No, I can't. It just rolled. I got a 2-hour taper. Everything on this tape is copied.
Oh.
So don't worry about it. This is a John Damon tape that is slow in the beginning. You know? Because my machines were running slow that day. So it's alright. I got the original for all of it.
Where were we? Oh yes, a wind-up novelty clock pecked at kernels of time. At 9:56, Marion Norcross burst into the smoker's room. A load of books and folders dropped to her desk with a thud. She fell into her chair, flung her leg over the arm, and picked up a half-smoked Vantage 100 from the ashtray. She lit it, puffing vigorously. Her elbow propped on the other chair arm. She enjoyed a deep drag as she turned to observe Nelson Presser entering the room. She blew out the gust of smoke in his direction. Watching him slide a cigarette pack out of his shirt pocket. In his hand he had 3 crayons, red, yellow, and blue. Jesus, she said, I don't know how y'all teach a class with no books. Or were you teaching the primary colors? Nelson snapped open his lighter and lit up a Winston. If you must use y'all, use it correctly. It's a plural pronoun. The lighter snapped shut. I'm singular. Hey, I'll vouch for that. Marion took another long drag, exhaled, watching him. Nelson opened a desk drawer and dropped in the crayons, producing a hollow metallic clang. He closed it. I was teaching must be, could be, might be, he said. He took a parsimonious drag off the cigarette and laid it in his ashtray. Marion took a puff of her Vantage and blew the smoke at the ceiling. As in, you must be crazy, she suggested mildly, as in, I might be. Smoke rings. The two looked at each other for a moment. Nelson turned away and began searching through the coats on the rack for his own. As he did so, Sam Liucci sauntered in, dapper in his suit and tie. What a fucking class, he announced, grandly. He hoisted an elegantly shod foot on the seat of the nearest chair and buffed an imaginary spot on it with a handkerchief. Patsy O'Hare ducked in behind him, a cigarette already clamped in her lips. Sam gave a last touch to his shoe. Hey, Joyzy, a drink with the Italian stallion? Not tonight, Sammy. I gotta dust the fringe on my couch. Patsy thrust a few things into her desk, locked it, and went for the coat rack. Lester's gonna love that footprint on her chair, Sam, said Marion. Sam looked at it and shrugged indifferently. By the way, said Nelson as Patsy was jamming herself into her coat, Lonnie called in to ask when you'd have that progress report ready. Patsy turned at the door, pulling on her gloves. Progress, schnogress. Tell Lester she'll get it when it's ready. She twisted a long purple scarf several times around her neck, carefully avoiding the cigarette which she afterwards removed from her lips and used to punctuate her words. I don't do nothing half-assed, and I ain't about to start now just to please Lonnie Lester. She replaced the cigarette and said indistinctly, Tell Lum I'm down in the lobby. I gotta talk to the attaché about that sink. She swept out of the room. Good night, Robin. Her voice came floating back from the hall. If Queen Lester calls back, tell her I said progress, schmogress. Oh, all right. Good night, Patsy. Robin called back bemusedly as he entered the room. Robin's name now turns into Jackie. Hey, Jackie, Marion greeted him laconically. She lit a new cigarette from the old one. Marion, everyone? He responded. He tugged at the neck of his sweater. Jesus Christ, they keep these bloody rooms so infernally hot. Hey, old buddy, old pal, old chap, what do you say to a couple of beers? Said Sam. He patted himself down for matches. None. Marion tossed him a lighter. Sorry, I can't, really. Robin shook his head. Not tonight. I've promised these papers to the students. Anyway, I'm not recovered from Saturday night. I'll join you, Sam, said Marion, stabbing out her just-lit Vantage and rising to her feet. I'll leave the door off the latch then. Shall I? Said Robin. Jackie.